agency. We talk about marketing and sales and staffing and retention and just all the little nuts and bolts. And we get into the cracks and crannies of what this is all about. So it's a tough job. We all need a little bit of help. I'm trying to do a little bit of that for you today. So, hey, I've got something new that's launching soon, and I'm launching it just through my community right now. It's my first physical product. I'm really stoked about it. And I worked hard on it, and I just got it in boxes, and we're throwing it together. And it's ready. But I'm going to do a launch through just my texting community. So if you want to get in there, send me a text to 208-213-8809 to get like an exclusive first look at this product. It's going to help you with your agency a lot. Okay. Well, I was going to talk today about habits. Habits are things that we do without thinking, right? So think about some things that you're doing in your agency right now that are habitual. I always think of doing reviews. I've done so many reviews in my career that when somebody comes into my office and they sit down, I just do the review, right? I open my mouth and all the words come out. I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't have to put any thought into it. I look at the printout for 60 seconds before we sit down. It's very easy and it just comes naturally and away you go. For your staff, it might be working NOCs or doing a quote eventually becomes a habit. You don't have to think about it. I mean, it doesn't burn a lot of energy to do some of the things that we have to do. So what I was thinking about are what habits do you want your team to have and what habits have you not implemented? And this is going to be a little bit more specifically geared just towards brand new staff. What do you want your brand new staff? What do you want their habits to be? Because they don't know any different. It's brand new, right? Their expectations are going to be set by you from the start. So why wouldn't you teach them the right things to do from the very beginning? A lot of agency owners are soft on new staff. They just are. It's kind of like when you were in school and you go to say you're in high school and you go to your first week of classes and you look at your teachers and you got some teachers they're hard asses, right? They come out of the gate and they're like, you need to do this and this and this and this. And you're like, geez, this guy's pretty hardcore, but that's smart, right? Because you want that teacher wants to have control of that classroom from the get and then you can loosen your grip over time. I've seen teachers do that and it's really, really smart. Being a boss is hard. You don't want to be a really hard boss, but you should have some things that are non-negotiable, especially for a producer, even for your CSRs. All right, so let's talk about some habits that I would want so I have a new producer starting. I have a new protege starting in like 2 weeks, okay? And so here are some of the things that I'm going to try and teach her from the start that becomes a habit, okay? So 1, everybody struggles to sell life insurance. Okay, you do. I have. Why is that? We don't ask enough, right? It's just really simple. We don't ask enough. So how about this habit? Every single quote, like you tell a brand new producer, day one, every single quote we do in this agency comes with a life insurance quote. And they don't know any different, right? Okay, yeah, that's the way it works. That's our system. That's the habit. And if you had a producer that included a life insurance quote with every quote they did from now until the end of their days with you, they would sell more life insurance. It's simple, right? So just 10-year, $150,000 term, whatever, just put a teaser thing in there. Why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we including a life quote with everything we do? Why aren't we teaching our new producers and proteges that? Why aren't you doing that? Okay, so that's a good habit. I think you would agree with that, right? We talk about measurable expectations a lot, so we do 3 quotes a day here, whatever number you need, okay? That's one of the first things you should figure out with your producer. How many daily quotes do you need to do to hit your goal? Okay, that number should be one of the first hurdles that they clear, and that's expected. And they learn how to do it, and they can do it with their eyes closed. Now, 3 quotes a day isn't easy. We talk about that too. When you've got the right producer, they will do that because that's what's expected of them. High performers will hit their numbers. And that's what we're trying to find. Okay. So let's do a life quote with every quote. Let's make sure they're hitting their 3 a day. What else? We never, ever, ever, ever email quotes out without talking to the client. Okay. Like that should be a pretty hard and fast rule. Don't do it. If you're doing it now, stop it. The reason that doing this in the beginning is so important is because if you're doing any of these things right now in your agency, undoing it can take more time, because the things that I'm asking to do, people don't do them because they're, we don't add life quotes because people don't like to sell life insurance. It's a harder sale, but so what? Like you sell insurance. Is it a little bit harder? So what? Like we have to do it. We email out quotes because it's easy. Well, why are you doing easy? Okay. So we don't email out quotes ever. We don't drop the price in front of a client until the very end, until they have been told why your proposal is so awesome. Okay. You got to teach them. You got to go through the quotes with them. This is your dwelling. This is your separate structures. Do you need any of this? Do you need guns? You go through the whole proposal with them, build it with them, but you don't drop the price on them until the end. You want them right before you drop the price, you want them thinking, this is a great policy. This is exactly what I need. I played a role in building it. And when you drop the price on them, even if it's a little bit higher, they're going to be like, yeah, that's fair. I'll do that. Because it's better than the one I currently have. Those are the habits that you want your producers to have. What about your CSRs? What about your customer service people? I would impart on you immediately that we never lead with no when it comes to a client's question. So if a client, even if you know it's a no, the service you provide needs to be more customer friendly than that. So if a client calls up and says, hey, is this covered? And you'll get this a lot. Is this covered? And you run through the questions. You don't want to come out of the gate right away and be like, no, it's not covered. Thanks for calling. Bye. Like you can't. There are people that sit in these chairs in our offices that use their position for power. Okay. Because it's the only place in their life where maybe they have a say. There are people out there that are like that. You've probably seen them. You've probably had some on your team, and they like to control their little world from the desk. Okay. And they do that by pushing people down, being like, no, I can't do that. Or I need to make a payment. Can I do it this way? Or I know I paid a little bit late. Is there anything we can do to waive that late fee? No, we can't. You'll have people that'll just come right out of the gate and instantly be no, because they need that sort of power to tell people, because that might be the only place in their life where they have that kind of power. We don't want those type of people working for us. We want people to be like, yeah, let me call and see if I can get that waived for you. And even if they can't, your agency has tried. And that's a good look for you. Okay. I tried everything I could. I called in, I chatted in, I talked to 4 people. We couldn't get it done. I'm sorry. That's fine. The customer paid late anyway. So like that fee's legit. As far as claims go, even if it's something that is in the gray area and you don't know if it's going to be covered or not, and you do everything you can to determine that by calling a claims adjuster and walking the claims adjuster through what happened, don't ever tell a customer that something is not covered. You say, unless you know like 100% that it's not covered. Like I rear-ended somebody, just be honest with them. But if there's some ambiguity, you want your CSRs to take care of your people from a place of caring and empathy, okay? And not hardcore, power and giving people straight up no's. You want to lead with yes. Yeah, let me help you with that. Yes, let me see if I can help you with that. Even if you can't, be helpful. Okay, that's something that I would really want to impart on all of my CSRs, that we're always going to try and help our clients. Even when we know we can't, we want to frame it in a way where the customer thinks and sees that we're trying to help them. Okay, does that make sense? Cross-selling. This is the last thing I would tell you. When it comes to your CSRs, you want to train them to cross-sell from day one. Period. And that's not hard to do. Okay. Every customer that you talk to, you say, this is what you say. Look, you're going to be the one that's answering the phones. Okay. You're on the front lines. You're going to talk to more clients than anybody in the agency. You're going to answer the phone 50 to 80 times a week or something like that. These are all sales opportunities. So you need to look at every single account that you're talking to when you pull them up. If they're monoline, we want to cross-sell something else. If it's home and auto and they don't have life or umbrella, we want to cross-sell one of those things. You're just adding a question into every conversation. Okay, thanks for paying your premium today. Looks like you're all set with your auto. Looks like we have your home and auto insurance. That's awesome. You're not benefiting from all of our discounts. Where's your life insurance? Okay, that's one way to do it. Or umbrella. This is where we should be selling our life and umbrella, okay? Hey, I see you have your home and auto with us. You know, my agent Matt is making sure that I'm asking everybody if they know how umbrella policies work, because this agency really believes that they're becoming more and more important in this day and age. So let me tell you why. People are calling their lawyers more often when they're involved in accidents. You know, the liability on your auto insurance, even though you have max limits, may not be enough in a bad accident. And this is what this is what an umbrella policy is for. Okay. So you've worked very hard to be in the position you are in your life. Umbrella policies are very affordable. I'll tell you what, I'm going to send you a quick quote. I want you to look at it. We recommend this is something that you consider. And I'll call you back tomorrow and let me know what you think. I mean, if you did that 40 times a week, you're going to sell more umbrella policies. If you ask 40 people a week where their life insurance is, you're going to set more life appointments. These are the habits that we need to be setting, because if they did that all day, every day, forever, you're going to write more insurance. Okay, so let's build the right habits with our people. Does that make sense? Those are just some examples. Anything that you wish your team was doing, build your team properly. So the next time someone comes in and you're training them up, be firm with this stuff. And if they're not doing it, you have to call them out on it. So the other thing I'm trying to teach my agents that I'm working with right now in coaching is, let's say that these are expectations for your CSR, that you're going to cross-sell umbrellas to everybody this week. Okay. And if they get off the phone and you're listening to the phone call and they did not try and cross-sell an umbrella, if you want to be hardcore about this and you want to set this habit, you roll out of your office and say, hey, who was that? Mr. Jones? You didn't offer them an umbrella. You know, what happened there? Oh, I forgot. No worries. Call them back. Make them call them back. Okay. They will know you're serious. A, they know you're listening to the conversation. B, they know you're serious because they're going to have to call back. Be like, oh, you know what? And that's not a hard call. I totally forgot. You know, this is something that I forgot to mention. Umbrella policies are really important. And then you just go into it. Okay. But you're the boss. These are the type of things that if you expect your team to be doing things and they are not doing them, that's on you. It's 100% on you. You want to build a high performing team. These are the things you need to do. You have to make them do the work. Okay. You have to help them build the habits. So there you go. My name is Matt. This is Agency Launch. You can find me all over the place. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I'm on Threads lightly, and Instagram. So look me up there. Send me a text, 208-213-8809, and look for my new product because it's coming out very soon. Hey, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your support. Keep up the good work.
Anywhere the fireflies, anywhere the waterfalls, we'll be there too.